Given the figures and the distress caused by this government in relation to both health services and housing provision, it's really shocking to just read the figures again in relation to the Department of Health, and that yet again they have a supplementary estimate plus other funding of almost £500 million in terms of how the Minister for Health has failed to fulfil his responsibility. And notwithstanding the fact that the total expenditure on health is now around 17 billion, the services that people on the ground in our crowded hospitals, the children without pain relief, and the multiple other problems that afflict the health service, this government seems to have no competence in addressing it. On the Children's Hospital, we know the vast overruns that have been entertained by the government have actually caused complete dysfunction in other areas of the health sector, which now lack vital funding. Can I just say as well, it's been incredible the fact that in the budget this year, notwithstanding the amount of spending listed there was no increase in pensioners' income for next year, no increase in the retirement pension, no increase in invalidity payments to people on invalidity, no increase in the blind person's allowance. I could name 28 social welfare payments which saw no increase by this government. There were 4 or 5 small changes in relation to social welfare and other weekly payments. In fact, it's an astonishing failure of performance. And don't think that pensioners and other social welfare recipients won't forget it, particularly when you're talking in stellar terms constantly, particularly by the Taoiseach, of statistics which basically says we are the 3rd richest nation in the world, we are the country with probably the most money in Europe, and yet we can't pay €5 a week to increase social welfare payments. That really, really is distressing. And it is the first time, by the way, that that's happened since around 2014. There was a very clear resumption of social welfare increases, including the restoration of the Christmas bonus, which Fianna Fáil had abolished. So I just want to ask the Minister, we still haven't received any serious explanation in accounting terms, and the Minister is coming in here with the government accounts, in accounting terms, for the way in which the 24 million paid to airlines in relation to airline taxes was refunded to them and was included as consultancy fees. Could the Minister please explain, if he has a full explanation, as to how such a misstatement of accounting information was put into the supplementary estimates and the explanations? I still haven't heard one that satisfies me. And speaking as somebody who's worked in the accounting field, I have to confess I no longer really believe the health accounts. I don't believe them. And IFAC didn't disagree with me when we discussed that a week ago. Can I just say this is in stark contrast. I was in the Phoenix Park last night with the OPW, who spent with Fáilte Ireland $400,000 on a consultancy exercise in relation to the park that repeated one that had been done previously and added nothing new to what we know about the Phoenix Park and its protection and its significance. While up the road in Mulhuddard Community Centre, there's a group of workers who are paid funds for their salaries, which are contributed by Pobble. Now, they will not pay them the minimum wage, and we've no explanation as to why Pobal as an entity is not funded to ensure that community workers who are working hard in local communities are not paid at least the minimum wage. Minister, can you answer me that? Up the road further in Hunstown and Hartstown, a sum of roughly 300,000 would enable absolutely essential fire repairs works to be done. Instead, we have the OPW and Fáilte Ireland able to spend 400,000 on consultancy, we don't know why, on the Phoenix Park, while up the road vital community centres and creches may be closed because this government can't find a way to fund Pobal to actually fund the necessary works for fire safety purposes in both community centres. That's the incompetence of this government, and to be perfectly honest, people people just can't understand the sums and yet the failure to deliver by the government.
Independence for Change, Deputy.